Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Marco's Pizza card reveal for Emerge 43 for the kids. My name is Casey Johnson. Alongside me, as always, you know him well. We got A.W. Lurch. We got the commissioner of Emerge. His name is Christopher Imlow. And, guys, I think the first thing that we've got to talk about here is that, and I think we're going to say this many, many times over the course of this show. Emerge 43, not just another event.
Not by a long shot.
Not just another show. And that is evidenced in the fact that just for 1 month only, right, we have left the Emerge Arena and we are going to be at the Foundation for Youth just here in town in Columbus. Now, Chris, why are we going to be at the Foundation for Youth?
It's a good way to give back to the community. Emerge has always strived to give back to Columbus. Columbus and Seymour have been great to us, so just a way to give back. And during this event, we're going to be raising money for underprivileged youth.
Now, not only is a portion of the ticket proceeds going to go to that scholarship fund for underprivileged youth that go there, but we're also going to have a whole lot of raffle items. This is not going to be your typical, there's just a 50-50 raffle type of event. There's going to be all kinds of cool stuff to win. And, Lurch, there's really no reason not to enter the raffle 1 or 20 times. It's going directly to the kids.
Yeah, it's for the kids. I mean, we named the event for the kids for a reason. And at 405 Hope Avenue at the Foundation for Youth, we're going to see why.
So that's one very important thing to remember. Don't go to Parkside. We will not be there. And you do not want to miss a second of this.
No.
And I'm sitting here looking at the matches, and I kind of can't believe it. You know, last Wednesday we met, we finalized the card. I've been gushing about it ever since. I still can't believe that all of this is actually going to happen on April 6th. We've been saying it, man. It's the biggest weekend in wrestling, and Emerge is about to turn in the best wrestling event you will see that weekend.
Bar
Casey
none.
Johnson. Take it to the bank. And we're starting off with a good old-fashioned Saints Row. But, am I reading this right?
You are, sir.
What?
Mr. Jason Saint will be joined by one Ricky Ruckus.
And I think this is the one that everybody's been waiting on. It's been since Emerge 35 now that Ricky Ruckus has been in a ring. Mm-hmm. Of course, last month now at Emerge 41, we saw him insert himself into that what became a 7-man tag. There are some questions. Technically, was he the legal fourth partner? Donnie said he had nothing to do with it. Percy was too busy mourning Freddie's death, even though he's not dead, which we will get to. Percy, he's not dead. And Ricky kind of helped out Donnie, which I never thought I would see.
Yeah, I didn't understand what was going on with that. I mean, the last we saw, he was going against Donnie, right? I mean,
yeah, and he was teamed up with Alistair Wilde, and it's because of Ricky Ruckus now that Alistair Wilde's contract has been fired.
Yeah, that's a part of the story a lot of people seem to forget. Not only did Ricky Ruckus come back, Alistair Wilde is gone.
Yeah, he spit in his face.
And we talked about Alistair Wilde as being the proto-Ricky of Red Rum. And it shows. Like, if you look at Emerge 30 all the way up to Emerge 35, 3 guys showed up with Ricky to Emerge 30 to put that beat down on Donnie and TJ Kemp. Of those 3, the only 3 guys who stood by Ricky's side until the end with their jobs intact from 30 to 35, Alistair Wilde's the only constant. He was Ricky's most loyal soldier, I guess, and Ricky turned his back on him
Alistair seemed really stunned by the entire development.
He got him fired.
Yeah, and okay, so Chris, I don't know if you've noticed this, but just on social media, Ricky's been like kind of commenting on stuff more and being a little bit more around. If that, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, a little more outgoing, and I don't know. I don't know what's going on in his head.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I like the old Ricky. I like the Ricky we saw over the summer. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
But either way, the two words that I wrote on my notes next to this are mystery and intrigue, and I have no idea. I don't know if Ricky knows what he's going to say, but nevertheless, Ricky Ruckus is going to be on Saints Row. That is going to kick off our show, of course, right after our Greenlight Auto Facebook Live match that always takes place at 6:40 before the official card begins. And I have a lot of questions, and I don't have many answers.
Such as?
Why? Who, what, when, where, why? All of these I have questions about. And actually, our producer off camera just corrected me on an issue. One other thing, we've got to go back to the building situation. Everything happens 1 hour sooner. We neglected to mention that. We're still getting used to that concept ourselves. So the doors open at 5. Facebook Live match at 5:40, and the show officially kicks off at 6. So that's something that is very important to remember also.
And we'll be pushing that hard on social media. Just so.
Yeah, trust me, we won't let you forget the way that we just did.
Right.
Honestly, though, to be completely fair, I was going to say that, and then I looked down at match number 1.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I see match number 1, I start salivating a little bit. But, of course, there's not action in it that we haven't seen, but there is a certain superstorm that's going to be blowing into FFY, and he's looking for revenge.
Corey Storms faces Daniel Eads.
Well, the man of tomorrow. I mean, going up against the man of tomorrow. I mean, he's gonna deliver that proud fist of that storm coming through.
Yeah, and Corey Storm was the man who took the fall in the first round. Now, there's been a lot of controversy online. Did Mikey make it to break up that pin in time or not? Nevertheless, the referee's decision stands, and I think Mikey's got his own issues to deal with right now. Has anybody heard from him?
No.
The last I saw, he had himself in quite the precarious situation.
Yeah, in the freezer, I think, is the last time that we saw anything. And he was saying, Mikey good, Zodi bad. But the point is, we've got a rematch here from the first round of the Outbreak 8, and Corey Storm is looking for the type of revenge that can only come from having your big opportunity ripped away from you. I mean, the things that Corey Storm did at Emerge 41 to qualify, to get into this tournament, just to have it cut down by Daniel Eads, he wants to reassert himself. He wants to prove himself.
Well, Daniel Eads got the 3 count. He went on to win the first round. I mean, let's not cut him short there.
Oh,
that's the man of tomorrow.
Not at all, but from a competitor's perspective, you got to figure that Corey Storm wants to reassert himself and reprove himself. That being said, Daniel Eads' victory, Daniel Eads' only pinfall victory thus far in Emerge, is a little tainted. He ended up with the 3 count, but some would argue Mikey got there to break up the pin and tie. He needs a decisive win here, Chris.
Maybe not as much so as Corey Storm. I would argue both men need a win.
Yeah, for sure.
But we'll find out who the better man is.
Yes, we will, and that is your first match. That's right. I can see you saying, seriously, that's just the first match? Yes, we have got 7 more matches to go, and speaking of rematches from the Outbreak 8, there's somebody else who I think is going to look for a little revenge. That is, if he can make it to the building at all.
If you're in the mood for some great authentic Italian food at a fantastic price, try Marco's. Subs, wings, salads, and the best pizza around. 2 locations in Columbus at 2019 25th Street and 3532 West 2 Mile House Road. Along with daily hot deals, receive a free order of cheesy bread for signing up for Marco's E-Club. You can learn more at marcos.com. Marco's, the official pizza of Emerge.
It's Ricky Ruckus approved.
Hi, this is David Lee, and I've got back here to try to have a word with Levi Everett. We saw that brutal beatdown that just went down outside there at the start of the Outbreak 8 tournament, and I tell you what, it was one of the worst beatings I have ever seen in my life. So we're going to try to get a word with him, but the medical has not cleared him yet. They won't let me in to talk to him. They're still working on him. But as soon as we get some word back, I'll get back with you and let you know what's going on. Let's all give some thoughts for Levi Everett.
So, Chris, Levi is still very injured, and we understand that he's going to be cleared by April 6th so that you can officially assign this match, but Levi Everett sent me a letter, and he said...
Snail mail?
Yeah, snail. I mean, it's the only way for him to really go about it. But he said he wants another shot at Poison Apollo Star. That I think, and we're making the match happen. That's your match number 2, Levi and Apollo. I think the question, Lurich, is, though, what Apollo are we getting? Because, honestly, if you have not seen our Facebook Live match from this past event, that first round match, then you are not updated on some stuff that went down. And we've got the footage rolling, but, I mean, let's face it, you got to hear and see this for yourself. I've never seen that from Apollo. He beat Levi down. He darn near broke his neck. He went after a fan. Straight up went after a fan. You had to get in between him and the fan.
Right. Yeah, I've never seen him like this.
I mean, Poison Apollo Star is not happy right now, and who can blame him? I mean, so much time has gone by. So many people have, just overlooked Apollo Star, and he snapped. I mean, enough.
Snapped is one way to put it.
I mean, he is not happy, and Levi Everett, I don't know what he's thinking. He obviously doesn't have Facebook, and he didn't see the promo that we just aired with Apollo in it the other day. He obviously didn't see that, or else he'd be calling you, commission, saying, cancel those plans.
I
offered him a month off, and he was adamant.
I hope and I pray for Levi Everett's sake that he is 100% on April 6th.
Oh, let's just hope that horse and buggy makes it all the way to the foundation for you.
I mean, if he is even 95%, Apollo Star is going to eat him alive.
Yeah, Apollo's just that good.
Many would argue Levi is a tremendously talented young man who has a very, very bright future in this industry, but this is Apollo Star, former E8 tournament winner, former Emerge champion, and that's when, he was shaking hands and kissing babies. Apollo Star is notable for having a bona fide mean streak. This is the meanest I've ever seen that mean streak. It's one of those situations where taking my production hat off, taking my journalist hat off, I'm worried about my friend Levi.
Yeah.
Apollo's going to rip him apart.
That's the fear. But let's not take away anything from Levi either. Tremendous amateur background. Wrestled his whole life. I'm just worried about him.
He's capable. He's got to be healthy.
Yeah, if he's 100%, then we saw it. Yeah. He can take down Apollo Star cleanly, fair and square. But if he's not 100%, it could be a career-ending injury next time.
We shall find out.
Up next, match number 3, another match that we have that is just filled with determination and just a little bit of spite. But I'll get into that later. Chris, tell us a little bit about it.
Cole Radrick faces the original American, Lennox Norris.
All right, you better know it, you better understand it, and you better believe it. My man, the original American, Lennox Norris,
of course, back. Lennox Norris has had a little bit of a bad luck run lately, I would say, in Emerge. I mean, he would argue that he's been screwed just over and over again. I will admit he's got an argument, but nevertheless, he's not going to have to worry about that this time. All he's going to have to worry about are potential ratty issues. Lurch, what do you think is Lennox's shot here in this match? Would you say?
I mean, he's got to go for that he's got to go for that Aborigine very early in the match against Cole Radrick.
The Aboriginal armbar. But I would dare say that the Aborigine is going to need to be what he uses. I don't think Cole's going to quit. That being said, there's very rarely a time when you don't just assume that Lennox Norris is going to win any match.
What do you mean? I assume he's going to win every match.
You're a very big proponent of Lennox Norris. Everybody knows this.
He's the original American.
I'm not trying to discount anything that Lennox Norris has done. My point is, you're talking about him hitting things early in the match. You're talking about the hill that he's going to have to climb. The reason is because some of the footage we were just reviewing here before we went live, and if we can actually cue that up, that's something that I want everybody to take a look at. Guys, on April 6th, we are going to see a different Cole Radrick.
At a different venue.
This is Jason Saint backstage here at Emerge 42, trying to find Cole Radrick, who just suffered a loss, unfortunately, to Braden Lee, which it's not embarrassing, because Braden Lee's really good, but Cole has apparently kind of lost it, so trying to find him to get an interview. So let's... Cole! Oh! Found his armband, probably somewhere around here. Cole! I got Taco Bell. Oh, there he is. Hey, what's up, buddy? You lost your armband, give me.
Yeah, I said there's another big one at this time.
Yeah, so you just suffered a loss to Braden Lee, who is kind of a newcomer around here, that people are more familiar with you. I've been asked to ask you how you feel about it. I said he probably doesn't want to talk, but what do I know? I've known you for a few years.
You want to know what I think about it? I've been in Emerge Wrestling since the 9th show. I've been here good times, bad times. I've been here when people had to leave this company because they weren't as honest as they were. But I stay true to this company. Braden Lee's one of my best friends. I helped him bring him into Emerge. I've helped him travel. He's been hopped in my car at every show. Right. But when's it going to be my turn here? No, unless it's a ladder match for me to destroy my body, or unless it's something that needed somebody dumb, somebody that doesn't care about themselves, because I care about the fans, I care about the show. When's it going to be my turn, Jason? When is it going to be my turn? I love Emerge. I love the fans. I love Columbus, Indiana. But I love myself, I love my drive, I love everything else about me. It's conceited as it sounds.
I gotta ask.
One thing. I'm ready for my turn. So whoever they have next month, bring them on.
What is your goal here, though? What is it that you want? What turn do you need?
What do I want? The one thing that's eluded me here, the Outbreak Championship. Something that I've had more fingertips on than anybody else, but I've never got it, Jason. I've never got it. So you know what? I hope this interview is everything you wanted, okay? I hope this is everything you needed. I hope there's somebody that's looking at this, that looks in my eyes and see this isn't a joke to me anymore. I don't care who has the Outbreak title. I don't care who I have to go through. April, May, June, July, August, whoever it is, line them up, and I'm going to knock them down.
Guys, can we do something about this? Give this guy a title shot. Like, Cole's been a good dude around here, and fans obviously love him. Like, I know some people. Maybe I can make something happen. You never know.
So, The original American Lennox Norris, many would say one of the best Outbreak champions that we've ever had. But, Lurch, even you've got to admit, that Cole Radrick, he said, maybe somebody will look into my eyes. Brother, I did. And that Cole Radrick is scary.
I mean, we've been seeing him do a little bit different move sets. We've been seeing him experiment with a few different types of styles, but what we just saw there, that was a first.
And Chris, you know as well as I do, dealing with him on a booking end, dealing with him on a production end, the frustration with Radrick has been building for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And he will admit it's not anyone's fault but his. I mean, he did lose an Outbreak championship match. He did lose in the first round, but I think, Chris, you and I at least, and Lurch, I think you saw it too, at some point, Cole Radrick, definition of insanity, right?
Yes.
You do the same thing over and over again, expecting something to change, and I think Cole Radrick just changed for the better.
We shall find out. He definitely wanted to prove himself coming back into Emerge by going against, one of the, if not the greatest Outbreak champions we've ever had.
Yeah, and that's the thing where Cole's ready to take his shot, but you, in good conscience, you can't just give him another shot, right? I mean, a little bit behind the curtain here, he has lost matches. And so, I mean, he didn't make it past the first round. That is back of the line material. But also, I think everybody knows the type of competitor, the type of athlete, and the type of talent that Cole is. So, if he wants to prove himself, let him do it against the original American Lennox Norris.
If you're gonna prove yourself, you have to do it against somebody like the original American Lennox Norris. I mean, you better know it, you better understand it, and you better believe it.
What's the saying? If you're going to come up against the best, you best not miss, or something like that. I'm not hip to the new lingo that the kids are saying, but the point is, Cole Radrick is going to have to take his hardest swing at Lennox Norris. This has, it's a crossroads, right? Because if you can't start stringing together wins, everybody knows how it works. Very quickly, you find yourself falling out.
That's just the way it is.
Of the Emerge roster and off of the Emerge cards. This is a fork in the road, I think, for Cole Radrick's entire career. And he's talked about, how he has his different sides to him. I think it's also a fork in the road for, like, Joey the person's life. This is the moment when everything has got to change. It's got to change this time. And looking into the same eyes I've looked into since the first Downtown Throwdown, something is different. But that being said, Lennox Norris brings polish. He brings style. He brings
prestige.
To turn a phrase, he's always picture perfect in everything he does in the ring. And I won't say picture perfect another time after that, because if you say it 3 times, Jordan Cage will burst through the wall. But Lennox Norris, it's fluid. It's smooth. Everything he goes for, he lands.
Absolutely.
And so Cole Radrick may have this new attitude, but for months, nobody could topple Lennox Norris. For an extended period of time, nobody could topple Lennox Norris. This is going to be the fight of Cole Radrick's life. And it's the third match. It's the third match we've talked about. And I would say we've got 4 title matches after this, but actually we've had something a little bit different happen just within the last couple of days. But don't worry, it's actually a pretty good thing. The Emerge Women's Championship. Now, I'm going to disappoint you guys, but we're going to bring it back, okay? The Emerge Women's Championship is not going to be defended at Emerge 43 for the kids? And an explanation I feel like should only come from Chris.
We've come to an agreement to allow Haley Shadows to defend the Emerge Women's Championship at a number of events in the Northeast during this time.
And I mean, honestly, let's call it what it is. In New York, New Jersey, on this weekend, all of the best in wrestling are there. There's wrestling everywhere you go in the New York, New Jersey area. There's something like 40 or 50 shows happening over the course of 4 days.
Yeah.
And Haley Shadows is going to defend the Emerge Women's Championship at the epicenter of the biggest weekend in wrestling during the biggest weekend in wrestling. And honestly, it's kind of one of those weird flex but okay moments. Like, this is one of our opportunities to really show how good Emerge is to an international audience. That being said, though, this actually kind of worked out in our favor because there have been heavy debates over the office who should get the next shot at Haley Shadows. Who should get the next shot at the Women's Championship? And it has come down to two women that have been thrown back and forth. Both come in highly recommended. Both are fantastic in the ring. And this gave us the perfect opportunity to say a little Porque no los dos. We're going to have an Emerge Women's Championship #1 contenders match on Emerge 43 for the kids on April 6th at the Foundation for Youth. The show starting at a complete hour earlier to fit in all of this action.
And this is at 405 Hope Avenue?
Yes, it is, and that is when Avista Varlo takes on Holly Cromwell. And, I mean, Chris, I think I've said all that I need to say there. They both come in highly recommended.
Highly recommended. And you mentioned, Casey, with the Emerge Women's title being where it's going to be, that was a no-brainer as far as allowing that to happen. But I think we've got a fantastic replacement match with two ladies who, like you mentioned, are highly recommended.
And they bring such a different style. I mean, just looking at the graphic now, you can see they both bring a different style to the ring. And I'm really interested because I do my homework. I'm about to start doing my homework. These are two women who I would say I'm not as familiar with as maybe some of the other ones, and I cannot wait for this match. I can't wait to see what they're made of, and this is going to be yet another great match on this card.
Just think either Avista Varlo or Holly Cromwell may be our next Emerge Women's Championship.
We could be looking at the next person to hold that championship, and that's always really exciting when you see debuts, when you see careers start, careers changed, because the Emerge Women's Championship is the women's championship around the area, and everybody wants it, but you don't get an opportunity all that often to take your shot at the champ. And one of these ladies is going to be given that opportunity. It seems like the start of something new in a great way. But the start of something new, now that I think about it, kind of leads us into our next match. Two brand new tag teams to emerge, featuring not really new people to emerge, are going to go at it. And you know what, Chris, since you didn't get the opportunity to make this match yourself,
Right.
I won't let you announce it because I'm that excited about it. The team of Southern Hospitality, the sun-tan Southern man Austin Tyler Morris and the big bad Brandon Taggart take on the team of High Caliber, Donnie Idol, Chris Caliber. High Caliber making their Emerge debut as a team, as is Southern Hospitality. And the funny thing is, Chris, they kind of made this match for you, but even if you had the choice, I feel like you would have made this match.
I would have made this match. I would have made this match.
I mean, Southern Hospitality, when ATM walked out, Lurch, and he had big, bad Brandon with him, what was running through your mind?
Nothing's going to change us now.
That's a good point, I guess. It's been running through my head ever since Saturday, I'll tell you that. Brandon Taggart, I wasn't very familiar with him when he walked in. It was one of those, oh my God, who is that moments. Since then, I've watched footage, and don't sleep on this guy.
Oh, no.
Brandon Taggart has the power of a lion and the grace of a gazelle when he wants to. The man is a freak hybrid athlete. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be, honestly, it's another one of those where I'm just chomping at the bit, because as soon as Taggart went face-to-face with Caliber, I know you were very worried at the time about liabilities and such, but even you've got to admit, when they went face-to-face, there was a little bit of magic.
Well, I thought big, bad Brandon Taggart was going to knock Caliber out right there. I mean, he was ready.
But the question is, if High Caliber ends up winning this match, is it Southern Hospitality's fault? Because I feel like they're the ones that requested this match. They kind of did it to themselves.
Well,
but I will say one thing that goes.
I mean, to their credit, I mean, they were minding their own business in the ring. They had their own business to discuss. High Caliber was sitting there watching the show. They interrupted. Well, let's be clear. They shouldn't even involve themselves. They were paying customers.
Let's be clear. Southern Hospitality called them out.
Yeah.
Directly called them out. Said, you're not in the ring because you don't belong in the ring with us. Said, you're not in the ring because you're scared. Dared them to get up.
I mean, they shouldn't even have been in their presence is what I'm trying to get at, you know? I mean, they knew what was going on there. They knew what they were up to. Trying to, they heard that Southern Hospitality was gonna debut at Emerge, gonna be there in a in-ring segment with the commish, and they just put their nose in their business.
There was no in-ring segment. ATM and Taggart just walked out.
I was trying to start the show.
Did you know things we didn't know, Lurch?
I mean, the sound guy had the song playing. Somebody knew they were there. I mean,
there was no song playing.
I heard it in my head.
Okay.
That's true. It has been playing on repeat in my head, but. I do have a question about Donnie in this equation. Saints Row with Ricky Ruckus.
Yeah.
High Caliber on the card. They're going to be in the locker room for the first time together. And I've got to imagine we're not going to have any issues. Because, I mean, Ricky did help Donnie, but I've got to wonder if, just in the back of Donnie's head, there's always going to be that cloud.
Oh, absolutely. You'd have to think so.
And the bigger question is that going to impact his performance? Because Chris Caliber will say, no, there's no way that's impacting Donnie's performance. Donnie's a pro. Okay, fair. And Donnie will say, no, there's no way that that's impacting my performance. I'm a pro. Fair. But, man, I just don't know. Because if Donnie's got his head on a swivel, I'm telling you, if you turn your head to look behind your back, if you turn back around, Brandon Taggart will knock your head off with a lariat, period. End of career. So this is going to be really interesting. What can I say?
Yeah.
And everybody, the debut of High Caliber is so highly touted. Everybody wanted High Caliber ever since they teamed up for the first time way back in, November, right? Everybody's wanted to see it come to emerge. All of the focus is on High Caliber, but don't sleep on Southern Hospitality because there is very little hospitality involved when they're in the ring. And you've got to figure that whoever wins this match may be the next in line for an Emerge Tag Team Championship opportunity. The Emerge Tag Team Championships are what we're talking about next, and this is one of those matches that will just be a surprise to nobody. You can take your job back.
Alrighty, custom made with Mortimer Blankenship III faces Snack Attack.
And this is the match that some argue, especially Lurch, should have happened months ago. And I've got to say, I've got to agree. I mean, we've rehashed the dubious circumstances under which Custom Made didn't win those titles.
Yeah.
And it would, generally you would say the dubious circumstances under which Snack Attack retained, but it felt more like dubious circumstances under which Custom Made didn't win. In fairness, they took that first fall in the weird 2 out of 3 falls match that it became, but Snack Attack walked out your champions, and then there was an 8-man tag match that happened that didn't involve one of the members of Snack Attack because they darn near broke his neck. And, which, by the way, they didn't break his neck. Percy, he's alive. He's been trying to call you. Return his calls, please.
Return mine as well, please.
But Custom Made has an argument that they're the rightful champions. And it's a legitimate argument. Like, I pretty much discredit most of what comes out of Mortimer Blankenship's mouth, but he has a point.
I mean, they had the belts. They had the belts in their grasp, did they not? I mean, and then the match just restarts. Next thing you know, they don't. I mean, come on, Commish.
It's one of those things that was called in the ring. It's the referee's decision, and he did it. Here's the thing that I think people aren't talking about. Snack Attack is going to be a different Snack Attack. We've talked so much on this show about determination, about revenge. The theme of the night continues here. Freddie Hudson darn near had his neck broken.
Yeah.
And, I mean, aside from all of the jokes about Freddie being dead and Percy not returning his calls, and aside from the face that was weirdly placed on the championship belt, which I still have thoughts on. Aside from all of that, you do not want to tick off Percy Davis.
No.
They successfully did that. And Freddie Hudson has a little bit of a mean streak to him that I've borne witness to, but a lot of Emerge hasn't borne witness to. He will take you down. The man is a legit former amateur wrestler. I mean, he's a shooter. He'll take you down. And I worry that Custom Made is going to prepare and do their pregame for the old Snack Attack, but they're going to get a very different Freddie and Percy on April 6th.
Freddie is angry. I mean, I have heard the rumors. Freddie is angry.
You got to think Mortimer Blankenship has got given the idea maybe this is going to be a different Snack Attack.
I mean,
you nearly broke a guy's neck.
We got what, 3 weeks? Now as of this stream. So
yeah.
If he hasn't realized it now, I sure hope he does, because I think the only way that Custom Made is going to win those championships, the only way you're going to win any match, right, is if you have the right game plan. I think the only way they're going to win those championships is if they come at it with the right attitude versus Snack Attack. And then we have 2 more championship matches. And both of them promise, as the kids would say, to be absolute bangers.
Did they say that?
They do say that. They do say that.
I didn't know that.
Columbus Bar in downtown is your home for daily $3.50 powerhouse beers and great food. Located at 322 4th Street, the CB is one of Indiana's oldest continually operating restaurants and bars, and Columbus, Indiana's first brewery since the Civil War. Powerhouse Brewing Company champions its friendly service and great prices. Call 812-375-8800. Check them out online at thecb.powerhousebrewingco.com.
The Outbreak Championship is the next thing that we talk about here, and honestly, this is one of those matches that just made itself. Trevor Court, pinfall over Brett Havoc to retain his championship. Of course, Silvio Cage also involved. They've got their own thing going on now. That's a completely separate discussion. And then Braden Lee,
Man.
He won the Outbreak 8. I'll say that much.
Yes, he did, with flawless execution. I mean, he just went through every match in that tournament, showing all of us why he is a winner, how he is a winner.
Yeah, execution. That's one way I'll put it. He executed the side of Calvin Tankman's head with a wooden chair, which, by the way, it should be noted for everybody that the wooden ones, they hurt way more than the steel ones.
I mean, that was kind of like a hybrid mixture of wood and
That's
steel,
true.
too. I mean,
That's true, but nevertheless, he introduced it directly into the side of Calvin Tankman's head, which is honestly just something I never thought I would see from Braden. I mean, I've seen this kid his whole career, right? Like, I was there when he was being trained, and he's always been the most humble, the most respectful, legitimately the nicest dude you could ever hope to meet. And I just don't know what happened in his head that has led to this delusion?
Delusion? No. You've been following his whole career. You should know. He's a 2-time All-American. He's a 2-time collegiate winner. He's 2-time everything. He's probably going to win the Outbreak 8 next year. I mean, that's how good Braden Lee is.
Well, nevertheless, the match is set, right? Greatest show on earth, Trevor.
Actually, gentlemen, you may want to take a look at this.
What's up, wrestling fans? It's Jason St. backstage at Emerge 42 Outbreak, and I'm standing with a man who I and everybody else assumed was a lot to win this tournament, Calvin Tankman. What happened out there, man?
What happened? What happened? I'll tell you what happened. First round, I went through Austin Tyler Morris trying to break every bone in my hands and fingers. Second round, with a hurt hand, I taped it up, and you know what I did? I went out there and I went toe-to-toe, blow for blow with Daniel Eads, and I took him to his limit and beat him. In the finals, I had Braden Lee, the thoroughbred, no cards needed. And you know what, Braden? You knew just what everybody in the crowd knew and everyone in the back knew, that I'm the best in Emerge, and there's nothing you could do to stop me. And you know what happened? You hit all your best stuff and couldn't put me away. Then what did you do? You resorted to the unthinkable. You waited till the ref's down, you hit me in the gut with a chair, and then when I'm on my knees, you look me in the face and hit me with the chair in the head. Braden, I want you to know what you got yourself into. Braden, I don't think you know. I don't think you truly know what you got yourself into. Braden, I'm gonna hurt you when I get my hands on you. I'm gonna make you regret every decision you made in that ring tonight. Braden, I can't wait to see you next month or in the parking lot or wherever I see you. Just know, when I get my hands on you, you're done.
Probably shouldn't have said all that on camera, liabilities and whatnot, but either way, I'm Jason Saint, and thanks for watching. Calvin, do you have a lawyer? Calvin,
Calvin.
Well, yes, that is Calvin Tankman, and you can see Calvin Tankman is not happy. But Commish, I got to admit, it's not anywhere in my notes. What does this have to do with?
Well, you heard Calvin. He said he was going to get a hold of Braden Lee in a parking lot wherever they meet. Can't have that. We settle things in the ring here. So with that, I am adding Calvin Tankman to the Emerge Outbreak Championship match with Braden Lee and the greatest show on earth, Trevor Court.
Hey, Monica, lock the door behind him. So, triple threat now.
Triple threat.
Braden Lee, Trevor Court, and Big Tank. That's what we're talking about.
That's exactly what we're talking about.
Whew. Okay.
How can you do that to a winner? How can you do that to a winner like Braden Lee? Somebody who deserves it. Somebody who deserves a one-on-one outbreak opportunity shot. He won the tournament. How can you do that?
Okay. Let's be fair. Let's clear. Chris, explain a little bit.
He would have gotten a one-on-one opportunity had he not introduced a chair into the finals of my tournament.
I mean, he's the only one with the trophy. He's the only one who should have the shot April 6th at the Foundation for Youth. He's the only one.
You're right. He earned a shot. I'm adding to it.
Many would argue that Calvin Tankman also earned that shot. I mean, had it not been for the chair, I think Calvin might have taken down Braden.
But we'll never know.
I mean, he kicked out of the Shooting Star. He kicked out of a top rope avalanche Spanish fly he kicked out of. I don't know if there's anything Braden could have done that night to take down Tank, but like you said,
yeah,
we'll never know. But Braden Lee cannot be looking forward to meeting Calvin Tankman. And I should take this time to announce that Braden Lee has finally returned my call, and here in just a couple of weeks, be looking for a new episode of Powerhouse Personals.
Great.
Braden Lee, I'm gonna figure out what's going on in this dude's head. I swear it.
That's gonna be a can't miss.
But I believe you me, I'm asking him the question: what's gonna happen when he looks across from Tankman? But then there's also the wild card of Trevor Court in this, who is your incumbent champion, who just won a fatal four-way match, but everybody knows that in a normal match you got a 50% chance of winning, but it's a two-thirds. There's a lot.
Go down.
Yeah, but like in a triple threat match, or in a fatal four-way match, in any of these multi-man matches, the champion is at a drastic disadvantage. And Trevor Court had a really nice stroke of luck in that Cage and Silvio battled to the back. Really all he had to take care of was Bret Havoc, and he's done that before. At least he knew what he was working with. Can Trevor Court's reign continue here, going against legitimately two of the best in the world?
I mean, Trevor Court is a freak of nature. He's the greatest show on earth. He's the grand piano from Indiana. He's been in the professional leagues rankings a lot longer than Braden Lee. I will say that. He's our Outbreak champion.
Or Tankman combined.
True. It's going to be a test. I wish, Commish, you would have left this a one-on-one match so I could at least enjoy two of my favorite wrestlers.
Well, I imagine that there are a lot of people out there who are going to enjoy Calvin Tankman's attempt to turn two of your favorite wrestlers into pancakes. But alas, we will have to see. And finally, our main event, as always, presented by Greenlight Auto.
A quality used vehicle is just a short trip away. Greenlight Auto at 770 Jonesville Road in Columbus. Greenlight Auto is locally owned and operated, a Carfax certified dealer, and a member of the Better Business Bureau. All Greenlight Auto vehicles are inspected with service contracts and gap insurance available. Greenlight Auto also offers professional tinting on any vehicle, whether you buy it from us or not. And if you refer a friend who purchases a vehicle, you get $100. Check out Greenlight Auto's inventory online at greenlightapproval.com.
And it is because of our great sponsors like Greenlight Auto that we can bring you, Chris, matches like this. And it's a surprise to nobody. It's on the flyer. We've already shared the flyer. It's one of the matches we've already talked about. Warfare Jeremy Hadley defends his Emerge Championship against Scotty Forever Young.
Forever. I mean, he's old news, isn't he? I mean, he's washed up.
Didn't you love this guy like 3 months ago?
Maybe 3 months ago, but whatever. I mean, he's no longer the Emerge champion. Warfare Jeremy Hadley is our Emerge champion right now, and, I mean, that's who we should be putting the focus on, not old Rod Stewart, whatever. I mean, who likes Rod Stewart? I mean, geez.
You once fit the names of 23 Rod Stewart songs into one live stream.
Coincidence.
I mean, we talk about Warfare Jeremy Hadley. You are a Warfare Weather fan. I will say it until the day that I die. What is it that you don't like about Scotty Young?
I mean, he's old news. He's yesterday's trash. I mean, Scotty Young, I mean, who cares? I mean, what do you mean? What is there to like about Scotty Young? Answer me that.
Why are you burying him?
I mean,
there's something you got to like about it.
I mean, who wears a robe like that? I mean, seriously, who wears a robe like that to the wrestling ring? I mean, you wear a robe to the wrestling ring? I mean, what kind of wrestler are you?
Most of the greatest of all time.
Usually.
This is a developing story that I've got to remind myself to look into some things later, but you made me think of some stuff. I'll tell you afterward. This is going to be a great match.
Oh, without question.
One of Emerge's matches of the year last year.
Yeah.
But here's the interesting thing. The roles are reversed. Scotty Young enters this match as the crowd favorite.
Yeah. Who saw that coming?
And friends, if you weren't at Emerge 41, this is another one of those situations where you miss some stuff. It was... You know how Lurch flipped on Scotty Young just like a dime? Just like that? The fans did too, but in a completely different way. When Scotty accepted his Wrestler of the Year award, some of the loudest boos I had ever heard in an Emerge ring. However, by the time that he got the win on Jacob Johns, some of the loudest cheers I've ever heard in an Emerge ring. And I've since talked to Scotty, and...
You mean he talked to you instead of at you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, we've had conversations, and Scotty's a pretty good guy.
Yeah, but you know who's better? Warfare Jeremy Hadley. And
and his army of goons that accompany him.
Well, they're associates. They're hired help. I mean, he needs the people there to, watch his back. You got people like...
That's exactly... You said it perfectly. He needs them there.
Well, when you have something as highly coveted as the Emerge Championship, and you're just walking around freely, you've got plenty of people.
The only reason that he beat Chris Caliber was because of them. Now, don't get me wrong. I've seen Jeremy Hadley win a whole lot of matches straight up. I've seen him work through injuries. I've seen him fight through personal trauma, professional trauma, physical trauma, anything that you can go through. Jeremy Hadley can win all of these matches by himself. It's the fact that he chooses not to. I think there's some hardcore paranoia going on in Jeremy Hadley's head because he has won a lot of championships with a clean 1-2-3 in the middle of the ring. And he sold out, man.
He didn't sell out. He cashed out. We went over that in one of our production meetings. It's a cash out. He cashed out the Emerge chip, did what he had to do. Whoever, whatever, friend, whoever that was in the ring that he beat, and he took that Emerge Championship 1-2-3, and he's going to hold on to it.
Speaking of that chip, I'm pretty sure Rogers got it framed, but that's a different discussion. My point is this. On his best day, Scotty can take down Jeremy. And what did we talk about way back in November, or whenever it was? That Jeremy Hadley got cleanly beaten 1-2-3 by Scotty Young. That was the big thing we were talking about at the time, right? Scotty didn't cheat to win that one. He didn't use any underhanded tactics to win. On that night, Scotty Young out-wrestled Jeremy Hadley.
He got
Period.
lucky. He got lucky.
He got lucky. He was the Emerge champion for half of the year.
Look, on Saturday, April 6th at the Foundation for Youth, you're going to see exactly why Jeremy Hadley is going to hold on to that Emerge Championship throughout this year, next year. He's probably going to hold on to it forever.
I see what you did there.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is your card. Emerge 43 for the kids, taking place Saturday, April 6th at the Foundation for Youth, 405 Hope Avenue. It is a fundraiser for the underprivileged youth that attend the Foundation for Youth. And we, once again, I mean, as we talk about this, as we end this out, I can't be more excited. Ever since July, I've been aching for another chance to get an opportunity to give back to the community. That's my favorite thing that we do here. And Saturday, April 6th, it's all for the kids.
Absolutely. 405 Hope Avenue. Again, we start early. Doors open at 5. Our Green Light Auto Facebook Live match begins at 5:40, and the show kicks off at 6 p.m.
And this is a card you do not want to see. And I can see the numbers going up. I can see the fact that some people have a tendency to catch us a little bit late. So let me run through everything one more time. Guys, Corey Storm takes on Daniel Eads. Levi Everett gets his revenge versus Poison Apollo Star. Cole Radrick tries to prove himself against the original American Lennox Norris. In a number one contendership match for the Emerge Women's Championship, Avista Varlow debuts against the also debuting Holly Cromwell. Match number 5, Southern Hospitality, ATM and Brandon Taggart take on High Caliber. Match number 6, the Emerge Tag Team Championship, custom made with Morty Blankenship III, take on Snack Attack. Triple threat match for the Emerge Outbreak Championship. Braden Lee takes on Trevor Court, takes on Calvin Tankman. And finally, in your main event, Scotty Forever Young tries to get his championship back. This is his contractually obligated rematch. Yes. He never did get that. Now he gets it versus Warfare Jeremy Hadley, who I'm sure will have his pack of goons in tow. Wow, guys.
It's going to be quite the event.
And I keep thinking that we can't top ourselves, and we keep topping ourselves. And honestly, at a certain point, it sounds like hyperbole to say this might be the best card we've ever put together, but this might be the best card we've ever put together. Here's what I want you to do. Tomorrow, I want you to get in your car, and I want you to drive to 405 Hope Avenue. I want you to walk inside the doors of the Foundation for Youth. And I want you to buy tickets to this event. Then I want you to tell your mother about it, and your father, your brother, your sister, half-brother, step-brother, anybody that you can tell. Because it's not... Listen, this is going to be a great wrestling show, but this is going to be a great benefit event. We are so excited for this opportunity to be able to give back to the youth. We were doing a walkthrough of the venue not too long ago when we were about to cross T's and dot I's, and when I was a kid, I played several years of my life in basketball leagues at the Foundation for Youth. Donnie Idol was there. He was talking about hanging out at the Foundation when he was a kid. So many of us on the crew have great memories tied to this place. And it's an opportunity to show them that we care. Mm-hmm. It's an opportunity to show them that we want them to keep doing the amazing work that they've been doing. And they have been doing amazing work for so long. It is for the kids. It is about raising as much money as we can. But while we do raise that money, every single competitor that steps through that curtain is going to give their best performance. So go to the Foundation for Youth, get your tickets. If you normally get them online, go to the FFY and get them. If you normally pick them up from meeting one of us, go to the FFY and get them. Show them how much the wrestling community supports them. Show them how much we love them. Show them how much not just us, not just every performer who walks through the curtain, not just everybody on the production team, not just everybody in the office, all of the fans, we are going to give Foundation for Youth everything that we have on April 6th for the kids. We'll see you guys then.